Okay, so this is the final video, and I'm actually re-recording it due to some, shall we say, cinematic challenges. So some of the things I'm saying you're going to see it's already written here before I actually wrote it. That's because anyway, okay, so the final thing here is to photo document our trusses, okay? So we're at this point here. We are on the ladder. We have documented our complete truss profile. We've documented our member sizes: top chord, web, bottom chord, 2x6, 2x4, 2x6, Southern SYP, MSR 2400, SPIB. Okay, these are the lumber grades. We got all our dimensions. We have our depths, plus or minus a quarter inch, the most important dimension that we measure in the entire building. Everything else can be about plus or minus an inch or so. These we want to get to plus or minus a quarter inch, and take the extra time just to make sure you really got that located properly and the depth properly. That's engineering-wise, it's the most important thing. All our plate sizes, etc. Now, we want to take 4 or 5 or 6 photos of the trusses associated with each unit, similar to what we did on top of the roof, okay? So at the dining area, we're going to want to take 4 or 5, 6 photos of the trusses from the top of the ladder, and similar at the kitchen. Now, by 4 or 5 or 6, I don't mean at every single truss, because, you know, in this area we got maybe 10 trusses. I'm not talking 40, 50, or 60 photos, but from the ladder on this side, 2 or 3 or 4 photos, the ladder on this side, 2 or 3 photos, okay? Now, what is it we're looking for? Well, first of all, anything that looks out of ordinary to you, take a photo and just send it on with the package. For example, sometimes you see a plate. It just looks wrong. For example, you'll see the joint and the plate is maybe on the web, but it's hardly even on the cord. It just doesn't look right, you know? Take a photo of it and send it. You'll find a plate that's kind of peeled off on one side. Take a photo of it and send it, okay? You will find damage. In this case, we've indicated a cut web. Sometimes a web was cut by the electrician during construction and it was never repaired. Indicate on your profile, this web cut, see photo and plan. And then on your plan, indicate cut web. You know, it wasn't these doubles, it wasn't this truss, but this is the truss that had the cut web. This tells us which web was cut, and then you got a photo so we can look at it. Sometimes there'll be a missing plate, see plan and photo. This one tells you which one, or on the other side tells you which one. So anything that looks odd or mismanufactured or damaged, in your opinion, please document it. The next thing is to document by photo the lumber grade. Now, if it's crystal clear, you can read the lumber grade. You don't need to send us a photo, but it doesn't hurt to do it. But especially sometimes these are really hard to read. Either they're very faint, or since they're inked on in a process, sometimes they're smeared, or sometimes they just seem like hieroglyphics. It's just really hard to understand what they are. Please take a good photo that's going to be as legible as you can in the office. And then we have ways of researching that. We can probably or maybe figure out what it is. Another thing to take a photo of is this bottom chord splice. Not really the other splices, but the bottom chord splice, as mentioned before, is the single most important connection in the entire truss. So if you get a photo, it doesn't have to be straight on. If your ladder's over here 6 feet away and you're shooting at it at an angle, take a nice steady photo. That photo combined with whatever your commentary is here, we should be able to figure that out. Okay, the next thing is if you notice the down shot or some other duct happens to be hard against one of the trusses. If you can get a photo of that, that's really helpful. The reason is if we find we have to reinforce the trusses, Normally, we're going to put something like a 2x6 on each side of the truss. But if your photo indicates that the duct is hard against one side, then we know we're going to have to do something different. So that's the usefulness of that. Okay, so now basically you got 5 or 6 photos of the dining truss, 5 or 6 photos of the kitchen truss. You go to your phone and you document it just like you did with the RTU photos. Select, subject line, job number, job name, city, state, truss, dining truss photos. Distribution list, pow. Kitchen photos, distribution list, pow. They're gone. They're done. They're out. The very last thing is, what do you do with all these pieces of paper we have? Okay, we've got a framing plan, we've got an HVAC placement plan, we've got profiles, and we also have some field notes. Take a photo of each one of these, straight on, so it pretty much fills the frame, so that the photo we can use just like this, because these papers are probably not going to get back to the office, okay? Hang on to them for a while in case we need to ask some questions, but if you got a good photo sent to us, you're really kind of done with this paper, okay? So take a good photo of each one. So in this case, you're going to have 4, you'll typically have 4, 5, 6 pieces of paper, 7 pieces of paper. So again, document it the same way. Go to your camera, photo, select. Subject line, job number, name, city, state, plans and profiles. Distribution list, send, pow. Now, everyone who has a stake in the job has all your photos, has all the dimensions and plans, has the record of everything you have. And you can go have dinner. You're done.